Hello, this is Crazy Country Boy 2, and I'm going to, in this video, introduce to you why the South was correct in 1861 in secession. I'm going to read for you something off the Declaration of Independence of the United States of America in 1776, written by Virginian Thomas Jefferson. This is the section after the "we holds us truth self-evident that all men are created equal." This is after this in the third to sixth paragraph of the Declaration of Independence, where Thomas Jefferson expresses his views on people's rights. Okay. Governments are instituted among men deriving from such powers from the consent of the governed, meaning the people, that whenever any form of government becomes obstructed of these ends, it is the right of the people to alter or abolish it and institute a new government, laying its foundations on such principles and organizing its powers in such form as to them shall seem most likely to effect the safety and happiness. Prelude indeed would dictate that governments long established should not have changed to right themselves by abolishing the forms to which they are accustomed, but when a long train of abuses, usurpations, pursuing invariably the same objects, evidence to design or reduce under absolute despotism, it is their right and their duty to throw off such government and to provide new guards for their future security, such as been the patient sufferance of these colonies, and such as now a necessity constrained them to alter the form and system of government. The history of the present King of Britain is a history of repeated injuries and usurpations, all having in direct object the establishment of absolute tyranny over these states. To provide this, let the facts be submitted to be canted. He refused this assent to laws and wholesome and necessary for the public good. He has forbidden these governors to pass laws of immediate pressing importance unless suspended in their own operation till his assent should be obtained. When so suspended, as he utterly neglected to attend them, he refused to pass laws for the accommodation of large districts of people unless those would relinquish the right of the representation in the legislature, a right inestimable to the formidably to tyrants only. He called together the legislative bodies, placed unusual, informal, and complete despotory of the public records for their sole purpose of fatiguing them into compliance with his measures. He dissolved representative houses repeatedly for opposing with manly formulas his invasions on the rights of the people. He has refused for a long time such dissolutions to cause others to be elected, whereby legislative powers and a capable annihilation have returned people at large for their exercise, state remaining in the meantime exposed to the dangers of invasion without and convulsions within. I won't go on because I'll have limited time here. Thomas Jefferson was basically one of the first Americans who supported states' rights. As he says, consent of the governed, consent of the governed, consent of the governed. Consent of the governed means that the people should decide, not somebody in a building in a city in the United States of America. As we can see, some of the things he listed about the king can be gratefully compared to Abraham Lincoln in 1860. But I won't get into that right now. I've already gotten into some of the things about Lincoln in my other video, and in future videos I will do more. But I would like to state to all those people that say the Confederates were traitors, keep in mind that the Confederates held dear these principles in which this country was founded on. As it said, I believe it was, okay, hold on. It is their right and their duty to throw off such government and to provide new guards for their future security, such as being patient with God. Well, in the section I was looking for, he states that it is the right of the people to reform the government in the principles it was founded on. The principles America was founded on were states' rights, the rights of people to vote people in office, not delegates, people themselves. The popular vote now is basically a giant survey. Delegates now decide. I don't think this should be right. People should be allowed to decide who rules over them. People should be allowed because people know what's best for them. Not some guy in a giant white building in Washington, D.C. I firmly believe that the Confederacy was exactly like the Continentals of the Revolutionary War, and anyone who does not think that should consult these and do more research as to what the flag or the Confederacy or the Confederate soldiers stood for. I would not encourage you to just go on and say, "Oh, my history book says Confederates are racist. You traitor! You're against America. You bash America. You hate America." No, I don't hate America. I don't bash America. I'm not anti-America. I want limited government, and I want a true America. I love this country. But this country is becoming corrupt every day. You cannot deny that. Anyways, to my fellow revolutionaries and patriots and new Confederates, Dio Vindice, God will vindicate. We have an independent Southland in the near distant future.